We good. Well, we're mostly good. I've got no sound, but we're good. Sorry, I had to go try and fix my sound issue. Apparently, I have no sound. How are we all? Well, I've got no sound on my skybox anyway, which is frustrating. How are we all? Let me see if I can fix this. One sec. No, actually, let me. Sometimes it is a bit funny. Uno momento, por favor. Ugh. Anyway, Tilbo, Brock, Shock, Basil, how are you all doing? I might have to get the Sky Go app up because my Skybox isn't playing any sound, which is frustrating. Might have to get the mega delay Sky Go on the go. Which is not what I want, but needs must and all that. Hopefully it works after a reboot, but can't promise anything. Yeah. Delayed streams. That's not what we want, is it? What are you going to do then? What you gonna do? You know what Crofty's like. It's 53 degrees track temperature though. So it's a lot hotter than yesterday. I think that hold on. I think that Norris has a better chance of winning this race than Hamilton. And I know that sounds mad, but I genuinely think that Norris has a better chance to win than Hamilton. Because race pace wise, the Mercedes didn't look great. So, yeah. I think it'll be hard for Lewis to win, certainly. I don't think they're going to take each other out. I've got Sky Go up, which obviously I don't want to use because it's got a massive delay. But my Skybox is playing up, so I might not have a choice. I think Max will get past Lewis pretty quickly, though. I don't think there's many people expecting Lewis to be able to win this race, to be honest. Sure, he might be on pole, but I don't think he's got the best chance of winning the race. Verstappen and Red Bull's race pace was really strong, as was McLaren's. Right. Yeah, my Skybox has gone foobar. I did have a power outage yesterday. It's working, but the audio isn't working on it, so I'm going to have to watch on the delayed stream, I think. Which is annoying. Sorry, I was a little bit distracted then, trying to get it to work. Right. I'm going to take these standings off temporarily, because I'm now going to be on a delay. I'm going to take these off. I will put them back on. But because I'm now going to be on this woeful quality delay, I need to be able to not get it spoilt. So, quick recap. All of the top 8 are on the medium, but Perez started on the hards. A couple of cars further back have started on the softs, but pretty much everyone's decided the medium's the best tyre. So, I'm going to have a mega delay, so I, for one, will have the delay. I don't know why the audio isn't working. It's plugged in via optical, but it's just not having it. Which is weird. I'll tell you when the lights are going off. I'm going to be like 30 to 60 seconds behind. And the quality of Sky Go is woeful as well. Right, lights are going off now, so I am well behind. Good start for Hamilton. No, but Verstappen's ahead. I think. Piastri's through. Oh, Norris is through. Hamilton's in 4th. Yeah, not good. Not good for Mercedes. He just got swallowed. Wow. It was a great signs for Sainz, great signs for Leclerc, a great start for Leclerc, great start from Piastri. Wow. Oh dear. This is literally like 360p or something, honestly. Like, genuinely like 360p. It's so bad. Oh, Gasly's wings hanging off. Yeah, Joe made contact with someone. Oh yeah, Gasly's in a world of pain there. So someone's gone into the back of Gasly. Wow. No, I'm telling you, it's not even 720p at the minute, Tilbo. It's literally like 360p. It's terrible. Oh, Cav, thank you for the 5 months. They need to let Sainz go because he's on the soft tyre. They need to just let Sainz go, I think. There's no point in being a hold up behind Leclerc. We haven't actually seen a replay yet, have we? But Ocon and Gasly are both pretty much out of this race. Oh, no. That's unbelievable, Jeff. So... So Hamilton was pushed wide by Verstappen. It was completely fair. Verstappen had the inside. But Hamilton being pushed out left Piastri to come down the inside. Yeah, Joe Guan Yu had a terrible start. He just didn't move, did he? Oh, Joe's... Oh, God. Yeah. Joe hit, I think, the Alpha Tauri. Oh, Joe hit hit Daniel Ricciardo, who went into the Alpha Tauris. Went into the Alpines. Oh, poor Daniel. It wasn't Daniel Rick's fault. He didn't do it. He was hit by Joe Guan Yu. Joe Guan Yu smashed into the back of Ricciardo, who then hit the Alpine. Oh. That's so annoying. It's unfortunate, isn't it? Very unfortunate. Yeah. Very unfortunate. .8 seconds between Verstappen and Piastri. I mean, it's a terrible start for Hamilton, but yeah. Some believe it's the Nico Rosberg curse. When Nico Rosberg posts a picture in support of someone on Instagram, they always have a bad result. If it's a football team, they lose. And he took a picture outside Lewis's garage too this morning. So people on Twitter were like, no, Nico, please delete it. It's funny. Yeah, Alpine are having an absolute nightmare, aren't they? The Angel of Death, yeah. I think I'll just have to accept defeat on this skybox for now. But I want to watch it in nice quality, man. And just the audio just won't work for some reason. Yeah, I feel like they should have said to Charles Leclerc, listen, Carlos is on the soft tyre, just let him go. But I don't know why they didn't. Just seems unnecessary, doesn't it? Yeah, Russell's up to 13th. Yeah, I mean, it's just stupid, though, isn't it? It's just daft, like, because Sainz's tires will then drop off, and like, yeah, I don't know. Absolutely daft. Perez hasn't really made any inroads. The quality of Sky Go is so bad that I can barely even read the interval times. That's how bad it is. It's not even 720p. It's like honestly, full potato. Unbelievable how bad it is. I don't understand why it needs to be so poor. Like, that's bonkers, isn't it? Like, why? In this day and age, why is it such poor quality? And there's no quality thing to change anywhere. Well, no, but he was well within DRS shock. He's dropped back now, maybe to save the tires. Oh, poor Zhou Guanyu. He had such a good qualifying yesterday. Albon's already pitting as well. Yeah, they're probably not that happy with it, are they? They're probably not that happy with it. I mean, McLaren could absolutely get a double podium here. They've got the pace for it. Oh, multiple cars pitting now. Stroll, Tsunoda, Bottas, all pitting. That's put Russell up to 10th on his hard tyre. He'll be really happy with that. He'll gain loads of positions. Bit of a status quo. That exciting race that we were hoping for sadly fizzled after Hamilton got mugged on the first corner, didn't it? Yeah, Danny Rick's up now because those cars have pitted, because he had to obviously pit because of his accident. They said switching positions to Carlos Sainz, and he said it's too early, tyres feel good. So presumably they meant tyres, not positions. Oh, what's going on with Tsunoda? Oh, terrible stop for Tsunoda. I don't see Max giving up this win now, though. Also, this is, which is funny because Lewis got pole. This is Max's, or could be, 44th win. Lewis obviously runs the 44 number on his car. It's ironic, isn't it? Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying, Afro. Like, Tilbury was saying it's 720p. It isn't for me. It's literally like 240p at the minute. And there's nothing I can do to force it to to... Like, it's just a blur. It's just a fucking blur. It's horrible. It's only a backup. I only use it as a backup for whatever reason. I can't get the Skybox working. Well, Skybox works. It's just no audio on it for some reason. Hmm. I mean, I could just make up my own audio. Copy, copy. I'm going to keep trying to fix it, though. Yeah, no, I've tried a few things. I can't get it working. Max is miles ahead of everyone already. Race over. Done deal. GG. Very frustrating, isn't it? Max is like, what? 12 seconds ahead of Lewis and almost 7 ahead of Piastri already. And we're like 15 laps in. Like, you'll be a fucking pit stop ahead of everyone. Like, it's just a joke, innit? It's just a joke. What can you do? Oh dear. Build a better car. Well, yeah. But you can't build a better car in a week, can you? Yeah, supposedly they had a compromised car for quali, and now they've got a good race car. I mean, it's miles ahead, isn't it? Pace-wise. Miles ahead. But ultimately, building a better car would be advisable. Oh, Hamilton's pitting now. Hmm. So Hamilton's now out behind Russell, because obviously Russell started on the hards, hasn't pitted yet. Lewis has now come out on the hard tyres into 8th. Put on the hards. Interesting. So they're boxing Lando, but I think he'll come out comfortably ahead. Oh, bad stuff for Ferrari. Charles Leclerc. Oh, 9 seconds. Awkward. So Norris has actually got more of an advantage over Hamilton now, I think. Hmm. Yeah, nightmare for Ferrari. Oh, he's going to be absolutely fuming, isn't he? Awkward. So that was close between the two McLarens. I've decided what I'm going to do is I'm going to time my broadcast, right, with my skybox so that I can get the audio but watch a proper feed. I have got access to it, Basil. Yeah. Yeah, McLaren have just gone into literal top tier. It's mad. Yeah, how is Lewis now 9 seconds behind Piastri and Norris? He was like 2 to 3 seconds behind them, and now they've all pitted, and he's like 9 seconds away from them. What? Yeah. It's weird, isn't it? How has that happened? Because Lewis didn't have a bad stop. Well, yeah, he must have had a really bad outlap. I just don't. Honestly, it's absolutely madness that McLaren have gone from literally being one of the worst to now the second best team in literally one race. Yeah, guys. Lando's was 2.3, Lewis's was 2.8. We're talking half a second. Lewis lost 5 seconds to Lando. It's nothing to do with the pit stop. It has to be to do with Lando's in-lap and out-lap. That's the only explanation. It was nothing to do with the pit stop, because that's just negligible. Hamilton is not almost 10 seconds behind Oscar Piastri. But he wasn't before the stop, you know, so... Max is now, what, 27 seconds ahead of Norris. Obviously, he could easily pit and get out. Well, Red Bull are definitely doing a 2-stop. I'd be surprised if Mercedes try a 3-stop. I don't think they've... Honestly, I don't think it would matter. I don't think they've got the pace. I think some teams will try it, though. If you look at the laps, though, like Norris is doing really quick lap times. I mean, he did a 23.9, but Verstappen did a 24 flat, so it's, you know, pretty small gains there. Hamilton did a 24.2, so 0.3 slower. No, Perez hasn't pitted yet. Lovely from Fernando. Mercedes just don't have the pace of these McLarens. They just don't have the pace of them at all. Max is pitting now. Max struggling a little bit there into the chicane. He was struggling into the chicane there, Verstappen, to get the car stopped. Hard tyres, unsurprisingly. Yeah, easy stop. 2.3, Dunzo, back out, win the race, GG. Race is over. McLarens are in second, Mercedes have no pace, etc. And Max comes out ahead of Perez, who hasn't even stopped. Very steady Eddie. You see on these onboards, especially with like Alonso then, you saw it with Verstappen, they're really nursing these tyres. Like really, you can see how easy they're taking it. Right, short shifting, you can see it. I know Lewis is on fresh Hadz and George is on older Hadz. They're only 20, there's only like 15 laps difference between them. I'm surprised that Lewis has so much more pace than George at the minute. And then Sainz is only 2.5 seconds behind Lewis as well. And here's Perez into the pits. So yeah, basically, guys, right, I've timed the Sky broadcast with the Sky Go so that I can watch the video on the box, but the audio from the Sky Go. And at least I can now see it's not in 240p, which is lovely. I think Russell's let Hamilton go. There's no point fighting it. Russell's got a pit. Sounds like Lewis is struggling, like just losing time. Some sort of temperature issue. Yeah, so Lewis started on pole position and is now almost 20 seconds off the lead, and we're not even halfway into the race. And that's this season, isn't it? Even if Red Bull beaten in qualifying, their car is so much quicker in the race that it's all just an irrelevance, isn't it? It's a joke. Like, And that's not even a criticism of them. They've built up a really good car. It's boring, but you have to take your hats off to them. Max and Red Bull, they've smashed it, haven't they? Like, they have. What can you do? All the other teams need to step up. You can't be mad at them, but it doesn't make it any less boring. McLaren are getting closer, but they're still not quick enough, are they? But then you... Oh, Perez on Sainz. Oh. Oh, Perez getting his elbows out on Carlos Sainz. Hello. Yeah, you know. Well, also, let me just reiterate, and I've said this a few times, but I'm going to repeat it. That Red Bull is a rocket ship in the hands of Max, not so much in the hands of Sergio Perez, which just goes to show you need a good car, but you need an exceptional driver as well. When you've got those two, like you've had with Schumacher, the Ferrari, Hamilton in the Mercedes, Senna in the McLaren, Max in that Red Bull, you see an incredible driver with a very fast car doing the business. You put Sergio Perez in that Red Bull, and it's quite obvious that, you know, he's not getting the max out of it. So... He's not getting the max out of it. I like it. Yeah, I like it. You're too late, Eddie. You're too late, mate. Oh, George. Come on. Put up a fight, mate. To be fair, there's no... Oh, shit. God, that was close. He was really hanging it out then. Why'd you give up the inside then to hang it round like an absolute madman? Georgie boy's really struggling. George looked like he stuck his nose in there. Oh my God, that was close. That could have been a nightmare. Now you've got the two Ferraris, right? Oh, George Russell's pitting now. You've got the two Ferraris fighting. They're both now on the hard tyre. Sainz, I suppose, his strategy worked because the soft tyre got him up from wherever he was started, 13th or whatever. They're now running 6th and 7th. Charles Leclerc's only behind Carlos Sainz because of his terrible pit stop. George Russell's done his pit stop now. He's going to come out, what, in 12th, 13th? So George Russell's done his stop now. He's going to come out in 14th. But he's going to have a quick car. Russell's now gone on to the mediums. Can he go to the end on these mediums? I don't know. He's done 29 on a set of hards on full fuel. I'm not sure. Ferrari have had a pretty bad season, haven't they? You know, last year we were thinking, bloody hell, yeah, someone's taking it to Red Bull, and then we're thinking this year maybe Ferrari would be right up there again, and Red Bull have pulled out more of a gap on everyone. You know, Adrian Newey's just worked his little magical fingers, and Ferrari have gone the other way. I actually think this season would have been a lot closer if Ferrari wouldn't have gone backwards with their car. Because we saw earlier in the season, when you looked at the comparisons between last year and this year, that lots of teams had gained, but Ferrari hadn't gained. So really, ultimately, it's Ferrari that have not performed very well or not designed their car well enough this year that I think makes the gap to Red Bull look that much worse, because they were so close last year and now they're so far away. So Hamilton now is at risk of Sergio Perez, because Perez is going to catch him. Hamilton's going to start on pole and he's going to be lucky to finish 5th. Awkward. I mean, the way I see it, it's going to be a double McLaren podium. Yeah. Hamilton was catching the McLarens a little bit, but Perez was also catching Hamilton, so... Yeah. Alex Albon. Williams have been pretty quiet this weekend, haven't they, really? Danny Ricciardo has stopped a second time after only running his hard tyres for like 10 laps. So we don't know why. He did have an incident earlier in the the beginning of the race as well. He was involved in the first lap incident. George Russell putting in those quick times. Yeah, 23-2 for Verstappen. Yeah, it's been a bit of a weird race for Danny Rick, actually. Yeah, but Albon's also just stopped, Shock. How's Alonso getting on? So Alonso's in 8th, catching the Ferraris. Hmm. So Perez did a 23-6 last time. Hamilton did a 24-3. So a big old deficit. Perez is catching Lewis at a rate of knots. But Perez is on the medium tyre, so... And we believe Hamilton and the McLarens will stop again and put on the medium. I don't think he'll get second. I think he'll get Hamilton. I'm probably Piastri. I don't think he'll get Norris. Depends as well, because Perez might stay out and not do another stop, but I think both McLarens and Lewis will do another stop. Well, basically, Zhou Guan Yu had a very bad start off the line, outbraked himself into turn 1, smashed into the back of Daniel Ricciardo, who hit one of the Alpines, and I can't remember which Alpine it was, but one of the Alpines smashed into the other Alpine, and they both ended up out of the race. It wasn't their fault. It was an incident caused by Zhou Guan Yu, but yeah. It's unfortunate for them. Another double DNF. Yeah, Hamilton's catching Piastri a lot, and Perez is catching Hamilton a lot. So... Yeah, I mean, Joe got a 5-second penalty, but Alpines would argue it's not a harsh enough penalty because both their cars are out of the race, but the penalty system isn't based on the outcome, it's based on the action, you know? And the action was fairly small. He's made a small mistake, made contact with Daniel Ricciardo. The after effect of that isn't what you're penalized for necessarily. It's what you did, you know? But, you know, the Alpines would be thinking, oh, great, you got a 5-second penalty, currently running in 13th, and both of our cars are out of the race. So, yeah. Perez almost in DRS of Hamilton now. Yeah, the Ferraris just they're out of the loop, really, aren't they? They're just not quick enough. Thing is, they say that Danny Rick's stop was for strategy, but I mean, he's now on the mediums and he's got to go half the length of the race on a set of mediums. Doesn't seem like a very good strategy to me. He's 7 seconds off Albon, who's in 16th. Doesn't seem like a good strategy. Yeah. I mean, Perez tyres are now 20 laps old. So if he wants to go to the end of the race, those mediums are going to have to do 50 laps. You presume he's going to stop. Well, you presume. And put on another set of tyres, presumably the Hadz, right? So Hamilton's closed the gap to Piastri. He's now only 3.7 seconds. But Perez is now within the DRS of him as well. So Hamilton's been gaining on Piastri, but Perez has been gaining on him. So... I think the top 3 fight last podium place is going to be interesting. I think, honestly, the top 2 are pretty locked in. I think Verstappen's locked in. He's almost a pit stop ahead of Norris. I think Norris is pretty locked in. He's 7 seconds ahead of Piastri now. He's been struggling on this hard tyre. It's really where Perez, Hamilton, and Piastri will finish when it all shapes up, I think. Well, I mean, you know, in theory, Perez could get Norris as well if he's quick enough. But it just depends. He's going to have to pit again, you know? I think, because he's not going to go to the end on those mediums. But we'll see. I'll be honest, like, I think Hamilton will think he can get one of these McLarens, maybe Piastri. But it's like a net loss because Perez will likely get him. I don't think he'll be able to hold Perez off for long. Yeah, it's a valid point. Hamilton's been catching Piastri, but the gap from Piastri to Norris has stayed pretty even, so... Hmm. Oh, yeah. Charles Leclerc's not happy. I mean... Oh, God, I tell you what. The relationship between Charles Leclerc and his engineer doesn't sound good anymore. He's like, he wants to talk about the strategy, and they're like, we'll talk after the race. He's like, what do you mean after the race? But his engineer, I could sense the curtness in him. He's like, we are on it. We are on it. He's just like, I don't want to deal with your shit, Charles. But Charles fed up, isn't he? I think he's fed up of this Ferrari team, to be honest. That's what he sounds like on the radio. He just sounds sick of it. I mean, Max could do a one-stop for sure. I don't think any of these other cars are going to be, but... Perez is going to be past Hamilton here. Not quite. No, absolutely. I don't blame Leclerc at all, Shock. He's got reason to be pissed off. Like, the way things have gone at Ferrari and the mistakes they've made, he's got every reason to be annoyed. What I mean is you can sense the frustration in him this season. Like, the way he is on the radio, you can sense the frustration, and it's like it's almost like he's like, really, guys? Really? Guy, like, again, you know? Poor Charles. Oh, hello. They're pitting Sergio. Well, they're gonna. Oh, Piastri's pitting as well. Yeah. Oh, not a great start for Piastri. Oh God, Piastri is right ahead of Perez now. Perez is on the hards, presumably. Is he, or is he on mediums? Oh, Perez is on mediums as well. Yeah, so Perez went hard, medium. He's gone back onto mediums. So Perez will finish ahead of Hamilton then. That's a guarantee now. That's a guarantee. Because he's now got the undercut. Yeah. It's going to be interesting. Do you reckon Perez can get Norris for second place? Do you know what? He might be able to. Interestingly as well, Russell is now right up the back of Alonso in DRS. Boxing Charles Leclerc as well. Oh, he was coming in hot there, Charles Leclerc. Alonso's pitting as well. Slow stop. That's a very slow stop for Alonso. I mean, 3.3 doesn't sound slow, does it? But relative, it was slow. You could see that that right rear tyre didn't want to come off. Right, so they're boxing Norris now. So I'm going to be interested now when Norris pits to see how far Perez is behind him. Well, Perez and Piastri. Oh, God, Norris was on the brakes as well over the pit speed line. Good stop from McLaren there. Good stop. Yeah, brilliant start from the McLaren lads. Fastest lap from Sergio Perez. He's coming. Will Leclerc come out, or will Sainz come out behind Charles Leclerc? Oh, he fucking will. Oh, I'm sure Carlos Sainz will really appreciate that. They've just fucked Carlos Sainz there. They may as well have just inverted the cars because they knew that was going to happen. You normally pit the car that's on the ahead on the road first in that situation, but for some reason they pitted Charles Leclerc, and he's jumped in because of the undercut. I mean, you'd be furious if you were Sainz, wouldn't you? That's just bullshit. But there you go. Come on, Perez, you're in a fucking rocket ship. What's the matter with you? Jesus Christ, Max Verstappen would have been passed already with his feet up, smoking a cigar, having some crunchy nut. Just get past him already. Bloody Perez. Oh, there you go. I called it as well. Charles Leclerc speeding in the pit lane. I said it. I said when he came in hot, we were on board with him. I said it looked like he was coming in too fast. Oh, Ferrari. That's slam dunk. Yeah, I was wondering whether they were trying to hold off pitting Lewis and put him on softs at the end, but it doesn't look like that's viable. Because that Mercedes does pretty well on the soft tyres around here. But it'd be too many laps. There's Perez on Piastri. Ooh, a little bit of contact there, I think. Yeah, but Perez will have DRS. Oh, Perez pushed him quite wide there. That was spicy, wasn't it? I don't think he can, Afro. I think putting softs on, I don't know. I think I think they'll just put the mediums on him. I have to see this replay. It looked like Perez went quite wide and pushed. It seems harsh that he gets an off track for that. I mean, that's stupid, isn't it? Like, that's stupid, isn't it? There has to be a little bit of common sense. And there you go. Yeah, Charles Leclerc, 5-second penalty, speeding in the pits. He's going to hate that. I think what was happening there with Piastri is they were trying to get him to say, yeah, Perez pushed you off so they can go to the stewards. Look, that's not an off track. But it didn't really quite happen, did it? The thing is, Charles Leclerc is almost 5 seconds ahead of Carlos Sainz. So even though Carlos Sainz got ruined a little bit, Sainz has been struggling. Charles Leclerc does have the pace. There has to be a little bit of common sense, though. There should be a system whereby if a car goes off like that, like quite clearly a mistake, and they lose time, or they're fighting another car, and, you know, they go off like that and lose time, there has to be a bit of common sense to say, hold on. Like, you know, that's not... They've not gone over the limit, you know, to gain time, you know? Yeah, Hamilton will be well in 5th now. When he... Hamilton will be well in 5th when he pits. So what are they going to do with Hamilton then? They've got 20 laps left now. Now, you've got a situation where... Hamilton's pitting now. Yeah, Piastri didn't really kick up any fuss, did he? Yeah, no softs. They've put mediums on. Hamilton's going to be way, way back on 5th place, though. So, I'm not sure why they left him out so long. I don't necessarily understand it. But, yeah. I mean, Max could have a pit stop, get out of the car, go to the bathroom, sign some autographs, get back in the car, and still come out in the lead. Yeah. We should probably give some credit to George Russell as well. He's had a pretty good afternoon, getting his way from 18th, currently in 8th, which is pretty good going, I think. I think he's done a good job. Ricardo is currently in 13th. So not terrible. You're going to box Verstappen now and he could just cruise into the pit lane. You know, maybe give him a little herbal tea. Just relax, can he? Yeah, you could just have a quick break. Honestly, just get out of the car. Stretch your feet, Max, honestly. You know? Yeah, Max could drive to Spa now. Not a problem. Yeah. Still a lovely stop, though, you know. 2.6. It's pretty steady for them, but still a very good stop. If Red Bull win this race, they will have surpassed the record for the most races won in a row. But remember, it's not a dominant car. It's not as dominant as the Mercedes car. Just so we're clear. But they will have won 12 races in a row. Yeah. 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 Hmm. I feel a little bit sorry for Piastri, by the way, because he was ahead of Norris early on. And the only reason that Norris got ahead of him is because Norris was given the undercut. But I do think that Norris has been quicker than Piastri today. So I suppose, you know, it's fair, I guess. Because I think Norris has had the better pace out of the two McLaren drivers. So I think Norris deserves his second place. But Piastri got ruined a little bit. McLaren have done an incredible job on the car. I mean, it's genuinely unbelievable. The progression they've made is actually mind-boggling. It really is. Now, supposedly, the car that they brought was the car they should have started the season with. It just wasn't ready or hadn't been developed enough or whatever it was. So, imagine if they had started the season with this car. Imagine those first few races. With Aston Martin, they would have been banging, wouldn't they? Of course, yeah, Daniel Ricciardo does need to pit again, doesn't he? I completely forgot about that. He's in 13th, but he will need to pit. I don't see him getting those mediums to the end, surely. Well, who knows? Yeah, Perez isn't really catching Norris. Is he? Perez just did a 22.9. Norris did a 23 flat. So, you know, like literally nothing. Verstappen just did a 20.5. Oh, sorry, just punching the mic. My bad. Guys, I've run out of tea bags. After this, I'm going to have to go out to the shop and get tea bags. But you know the worst thing? I was already in the supermarket earlier, and I forgot tea bags. It's pain, isn't it? So yeah, a 20.5 from Verstappen. Just to be clear, the quickest times around, Hamilton a 22 flat, Perez a 22.2, Verstappen did a 20.5. Well over a second and a half quicker than anyone. That Red Bull has pace in hand whenever it needs it. Yeah. Perez is well. He did catch Norris a little bit that last lap, but I think Norris was going through traffic. So Norris is a bit antsy, isn't he? God, Hamilton's really caught Piastri. He came out behind Piastri, 7 seconds behind, and now he's in DRS. Hmm. Yeah, Piastri has slowed down second half of this race, hasn't he? Yeah, I don't think Piastri's going to really fight that. I don't think there's a point. The pace difference is so much. At periods in the race, Hamilton has had a lot more pace than the McLarens, but he was so far behind them after his first stop that if he didn't come out 10 seconds behind the McLarens after his first stop, he might have been a lot closer to Norris, but yeah, I mean, listen, not been great from the Mercedes, has it? I don't really know what to make. I don't know what to make of this race. Hmm. Apparently, Hamilton was told to lift and coast for engine temperatures very early on in the race. I'm just reading. Anyway. So, recap. Verstappen is... listen, just forget about Verstappen. Verstappen's going to win every race. Fuck him. Norris is winning the race. Perez is 4.1 seconds behind Norris now, with 11 laps to go. Now, Perez last time across 22.3, Norris 23.6. Norris is having to go through backmarkers though. Perez will have to do the same. I think Ricciardo is going to stay out on those mediums, by the way. There's no point in stopping now, is there? McLaren are going to be really strong at Spa, aren't they? Like, high speed is their strongest thing. It was in Silverstone, so they're going to be really strong at Spa. It's not been a particularly interesting race, is it? It just hasn't. We had so much promise with the qualifying yesterday, but it's not really transpired into anything. It's you know. It is what it is. So Perez is now 3.1 seconds behind. It's going to be interesting to see if these backmarkers cost either team anything. Yeah, the Astons have been nowhere, haven't they? You know, was it Spain? Alonso said that's going to be the last race we're not on the podium, or whatever it was he said. I can't remember what it was now. And then, yeah. They've been terrible since then. We've got a big break coming up as well. It's Spa next weekend. And then after that, it's a month break. Yeah, but there hasn't really been anything that exciting happening, has there, really? Not really. It's been a pretty dud race, but it's nice to see the McLarens up there doing their thing, obviously. Oh, that was an off track from Norris, surely. Well, yeah, it's a month. It's a month with no F1. Yes, Lewis Hamilton. Well done. Is there anything else you want to say, or is that just going to be it? All right, you can go away. Odd person. He doesn't have any time, and I think it's because of the back markers, but Lewis has been catching Norris and Perez quite considerably. Like by a second and a half a lap. I think it's because they're going through back markers. I think that's why. Russell's got some sort of issue? Russell, honestly, could get 6th here. Because if Russell can get past Sainz, he's only 1.4 seconds behind him. He could get within 5 seconds of Charles Leclerc, and he could steal 6th place. So Russell could steal 6th, which would be incredible, all things considered. And, yeah, you're right, Perez has slowed down massively now. Yeah, George could genuinely steal 6th now. If he gets past Sainz, he stands a chance of he doesn't have to get past Charles Leclerc. He just needs to get within 5 seconds of him. Ferrari have been caught napping a little bit here. Well, what's new? Let's be honest. But, yeah. I think Russell's going to get past Carlos Sainz, and he might be able to sneak 6th place. Perez ain't catching Lando now. No chance. He's slowed down massively. Oh my god. Russell is so much quicker than Carlos Sainz. Piastri's dropped off massively, hasn't he? He's 12.7 seconds behind Hamilton now. Yeah, I mean, if you look, Hamilton's been catching Perez a second a lap almost. And George has been going really rapidly as well. Like, it's mad, isn't it? All of a sudden, in certain conditions, that Mercedes is rapid. The problem is, under full fuel and on, with hard tires, medium tires, it's just not quick. But there's times when it's rapid. The thing is, Hamilton's been catching Perez, but Perez has gone through a lot of traffic, so... But Hamilton has come through a lot of them as well, so... But he's not going to catch him in 4 laps. Like. George Russell is 5.3 seconds away from Charles Leclerc. He's gonna get Charles Leclerc because of the penalty. Oh, Ferrari. Ferrari. Well, he has fallen off when you consider he was right behind Norris and with Norris at one point, and now he's 70. He's a pit stop behind Lando Norris. Ignore Hamilton. He's a pit stop behind his teammate when he was running right behind him. So if that's not falling off, I don't know what is. Well, Georgie boy. He's had a good race, George. He's made some nice moves. He's bided his time. Yeah, well, it was Charles' fault, yeah. And Perez is nowhere now for Norris. Like Norris has got him covered easily. Another banging drive from Norris, has to be said. Looks like Perez is going to get the last podium position, though. I don't know what Checo's do. 23-1 last lap. Hamilton 22-3. I don't think there's enough time for Lewis to catch, to be honest. But honest, Lewis has been putting in some blistering times. Since he came out behind the McLaren, on this medium tyre, it's been really, really good. Double yellow. Oh, Logan Sargent. Sidebar, Daniel Ricciardo is staying out on those mediums, obviously. He's in 13th, so fair play to him. Can Hamilton get within DRS for the last lap? No, surely not. No, I wouldn't have thought Lewis would get past now. Not enough time. Oh, Sargent's just decided to retire. Hamilton's still 1.8 seconds behind. There's not enough time. He doesn't have enough time to get past. But if there was another 3 or 4 laps, I think Hamilton would have just had enough pace. If Perez was smart, he would have deployed his battery last lap to ensure Hamilton didn't get within DRS. Yeah, Lewis was absolutely blitzing it. Fair play. That Mercedes was quick in periods. It just didn't have pace early on in the race on those tyres. But in the second half of the race, it was really quick. But fair play. Max Verstappen. Easy win for Max in the end, wasn't it? Russell's going to get 6th because he's going to jump Leclerc. He might even get Leclerc on the track, you know. "35 seconds behind the nearest car." It's a joke, isn't it? A fucking joke. Great result from Norris. Shame Piastri didn't get on the podium as well, but Hamilton would be pretty good. He didn't get on the podium, but just wasn't quick enough in the first half of the race, was he? Russell's right behind Charles Leclerc at the end. Not that it matters, because he's past him anyway because of the penalty. Those Ferraris are so slow, aren't they? They're so slow, those Ferraris. Fair play to George Russell. He managed to get up to 6th place because of that. I think he would have passed him anyway. Fair play. They'll tell you, they'll gaslight you and tell you that that car isn't dominant. They've won every race this season. Comfortably as well. But they'll tell you that car isn't dominant. Okay. There you go, you know. 33 seconds ahead. It's just easy for Max, isn't it? Put that car in Max's hands and you see the difference. It's a lightning car, but you see the difference between Max and Checo. Checo was getting caught by Lewis. Max was 35 seconds ahead of Norris. Do you know what I mean? There's levels to this shit, isn't there? Same car. So... Oy, oy, oy. There you go. To be clear, Red Bull have now broken the record for most consecutive wins that was held by, what was it, the McLaren, the MP44 from the 80s. But it's not a dominant car. Just so we're clear, it's not a dominant car. They've won 12 races in a row now, including from the back end of last year. 12 races in a row. I think, what was it? Max has won 8 in a row himself. Yeah. So, Bahrain, Max won. Saudi Arabia, Perez won. Then Australia, Max won. Baku, Perez won. Then Miami, max. Monaco, max. Spain, max. Canada, max. Austria, max. Silverstone, max. Hungary, max. Belgium, max. Netherlands, max. You know, like... The Red Bull could genuinely win every single race this year. And that isn't even just not just saying that, it's genuinely possible. Genuinely possible. Yeah. Mad, isn't it? Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Right, you little buggers. That's me for today. I'll be back on Twitch tomorrow. Thank you for joining me. The race wasn't as exciting as it could have been after qualifying, but I appreciate you all nonetheless. Thank you very much for joining me. I will, like I say, be back on Twitch tomorrow evening for more memes. Haven't decided what we're going to play yet, but we'll work it out. Yeah. I love you all. Thank you very, very much. I will see you on the flip side. Remember, if you haven't already, go subscribe to the golf channel. Because why not? We're almost at 100 subs on a channel that's only been up a couple weeks. Mwah, bellissimo. Right, I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.